I guarantee that I will spark the brain that will change the world. And that's our job.
The working environment needs to be fun. Everything you're doing in life needs to be fun.
How do we support our own institutions? How do we support our own businesses?
We feel that with the black man spending $20 billion a year, not setting up any businesses, not creating any industry, not creating any job opportunities for his own town, he's not in a moral position to tell the white man that he's discriminating against him.
And instead of breaking somebody down, I look at what they do great and I go, wow, people that love and really want great for themselves go, what are they doing right?
What's good? Welcome to another special quarantine edition of It's Black Is Lit. I'm your host, Town, here in the Visionary Lab. And today, I'm joined by the brilliantly black and talented Mr. BK Simmons.
What's up, H-Town, man? Appreciate you having me.
No doubt, no doubt. Thank you for stopping by the show with us today, man.
Yeah,
excited to talk about it. Oh yeah, no doubt, bro. You lit. Everything you got going on lit. We're excited to talk about it, bro. But for starters, tell us a little bit about yourself, man. Tell us where you're from originally.
So I was born and raised in North Little Rock, Arkansas. So I'm from Arkansas originally. Graduated from North Little Rock High. Went to Ibil. Of course, that's where you and I connected, man. I really enjoyed those years being on the hill. Grew up, my mom's an entrepreneur. My dad was in education. He's a coach and educator. He moved to Michigan when I was young. And so I spent a lot of my childhood going in between Arkansas and Michigan. And I think it actually was beneficial to me because I got to see life through a number of different facets, because my life in Michigan was vastly different from my life in Arkansas. But I grew to love them and appreciate them both. And so, shout out to my parents for at least doing a decent job when we were raising me. And so when I got to Fayetteville, that was a great opportunity. And then after that, I moved to Atlanta, Georgia to start my career. Already.
So how did you get interested in entrepreneurship? I know you said it's kind of in your bloodline, but how did you get an interest in becoming an entrepreneur?
That's a great question. Again, my mom is a salon owner and hairstylist, and she really introduced me to the concept of entrepreneurship. I just really loved her hustle and her drive from an early age. She was really out, had her own business, was, just kind of killing it. So I was always inspired by her, for sure. And then I think I've always been entrepreneurially driven. I think I grasped the concept of ownership early, and the importance of that. I've always been a creative, and so I had the entrepreneurial drive all along. Initially, coming out of college, I thought I was going to get a big job at Disney or somewhere, a big corporation, and that was going to be my journey. But I quickly learned once I got into the professional world that I like being creative, and I like creating IP, and I like having autonomy and flexibility within how I work. And so I fell into entrepreneurship by way of trying to find an outlet for me, because I think the University of Arkansas was very corporately driven. I think it's, especially in the Walton College, like they were really preparing you to go get a job at a corporation like Walmart. I mean, it's named after Walmart, the Walton family. And so even in college, I started being entrepreneurial and promoting events and parties and trying to do step shows and trying to organize partnerships with nonprofits and corporations and stuff like that. So I got my first taste of it, trying to have fun in college and create my own lane there. But as I got older, I realized that I could eventually create a career out of being an entrepreneur, and it's starting to work for me.
No doubt. No doubt. Yeah. So speaking of that commitment, when did that shift for you? When did your interest turn into a passion?
I was big by the Obama bug too, right? So I was like wearing many hats, right? So in college, I was like throwing parties, but I was also like, running registered student organization connections. And so I was all about connecting people and building mentorship outlets. And then I was, working for the Obama campaign and things like that in college. And so when I got the opportunity to go to Atlanta, it was for a political job. I was an intern initially for the Georgia House of Representatives. And there I started off as an intern, became a chief of staff my first 2 months of being there. And that introduced me initially to, I think politics can show you have to be entrepreneurial in how you manage projects and go about doing business. And so that kind of introduced me on how I can actually grow and excel fast. I did not like the corporate route of you have to, in corporation, you got 10 years before you can get to a certain level. The idea that just never sat right with me. And so in politics, I was able to fast track. And then I was really introduced to the startup community. I connected with this startup founder who eventually became my co-founder, Natasha, and Stedman Harper. And we went to South by Southwest and coordinated on a project and did like this, projection bomb. And the experience of South by Southwest was confirmation that this is the world I need to be in. I love innovation, I love technology, and I love entrepreneurship. And also, I love culture. And South by Southwest introduced me to how that all can work together. And so just months later, I quit my job in politics and jumped in to the startup world.
No doubt, man. No doubt. Like once you figured out where your lane was gonna be, it's just nothing else matters. So no doubt. Tell me about your journey once you came to this moment of realization that I'm going to move into this realm of culture and entrepreneurship and really economic development. Tell me some of the successes that you've experienced along your journey.
Yeah, I think of a lot of things, and one of my mentors, former bosses, taught me how to think of things in checkpoints and strike points and condition setters. So strike points meaning like here's a milestone, and then condition setters meaning like these things have changed forever, right? You evolve and really created change for yourself or created some demonstrated long lasting impact. And so I had a number of moments that set new conditions for me. One, one of my first entrepreneurial ventures was the Mint Group, right? And so that was me just really organizing with some friends who were doing dope things, and we came together, created a marketing agency, did this huge launch, and everybody was doing what they thought they wanted to do. So that was set a new condition in that you can create your own path. And I think you truly become an entrepreneur when you understand that life is not about accepting what cards are dealt to you. It's about dealing your own hand. And so from the Mint Group, then came the opportunity to join Wiser and become a co-founder and Wiser, which is a tech platform, my first startup. Those co-founders that I met at South by Southwest, the team I met at South by Southwest and worked at South by Southwest eventually became my co-founders in Wiser, and we built a tech platform that was they grew fast, exponentially. We was trying to solve for how brands and consumers communicate in real time, using gamified surveys, and went all over the country, like really building this startup. And it was a great experience. And it also was where I dedicated my life to entrepreneurship, right? Because you had to live it. It wasn't about just hustling and making some money on the side. It was like, no, you actually had to put your full-time commitment into making this business work. And so we went through program after program, moving, staying in 2-bedroom apartments, sleeping on top of each other, all those kinds of things in order to get to a level of success. And they didn't come overnight. But once we got to Cincinnati, Ohio, and we raised venture capital. We're really northern Kentucky, but northern Kentucky, Cincinnati area, raised almost $2 million. And so that was the confirmation that the conditions had really changed, because entrepreneurship is not for the faint of heart, man. It's a long-term game, right? It's a roller coaster. It goes up and down literally every day. Within the hour, things can change. And so you have to be in it for the long haul. And I think it's important to understand when new conditions are set, because it gives you the confirmation to keep going. It gives you the confirmation that you're growing, you're getting better. And now that I feel like my entire past of politics and the hustle in college, and the Mint Group and innovation and startup world, I come together into allow me to create things like Venture Noir, where I'm able to support other entrepreneurs like myself, people of color, creatives, in building their business and connecting them with resources like Northwest Arkansas and Walton Family Foundation and others who are committed to the growth and success of those communities.
Mm-hmm. That's what's up, man. Because really, that's the ultimate goal, is to try to be a success so you can help others be a success, you know?
I guess I'm a success. I'm still grinding, right? I still put in 14, 18-hour days. I'm still always on the hunt. I'm still always trying to grow, learn. I think where I'm at now, I would say I'm learning to really continue to educate myself, right? And that's from everywhere, from people to videos to reading to articles, to just really continuously educating myself and developing my skill set. Because once you become an entrepreneur, you're responsible for other people, but you have your responsibility change, and so you have to have the right skills to keep your 1-2 punch going, so that you can sustain it over time.
Yeah, for sure. So talk to me about some of the challenges that you face along your journey, and maybe, whether it's keeping that 1-2 punch or figuring out, what it is that you're supposed to be doing. What are some of the challenges that you face?
That's great. A ton of challenges. I think the number one challenge is challenge of self and ego, and addressing it and understanding when to check that, right? Understanding that it's okay to be humble as an entrepreneur. Actually, you should be, because you open yourself up to more opportunities. Because I think it's one of the reasons why I don't recognize my success. I celebrate all the time, right? I celebrate my small wins, but I don't like to consider myself successful just yet, because I still have a ways to go. One thing I have learned is that you cannot feel entitled in this game, right? Business does not owe you anything. You have to earn everything. Another challenge is working with people. Like, again, working with people and understanding that everybody has their individual motivations, and that teamwork is about the empowerment and of going to or working together to achieve a collective goal, and keeping the main thing is super important. When you're in a partnership with people, you're married to them. It's truly a marriage, right? It's not to be taken lightly to go in a partnership. And even when you're dealing with your clients, your customers, especially if you're on retainers, things like that, you have long-term agreements. There's a level of responsibility that you have to maintain, especially in the startup world. You go from a founder to a C-suite executive almost overnight, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you literally, I'm a creative, I'm a strategist, whatever, and I'm creating something, and I'm just trying to solve a problem, and I want somebody to invest in it. So now I have to actually manage a business, and I have to be a C-suite executive and dealing with other C-suite executives who close deals, right? So that level of intimidation can be challenging, but once you get over that, it's a level of comfort. I think it's one of the reasons why I'm able to operate the way I can now. You really have to be intentional about your own personal development and growth within all that.
With that being said, your journey has come to where you kind of overcome some of these challenges. So tell me about what your future will be entrepreneurially, and how you're reinvesting everything that you've learned back into the community.
Now I'm in a place to where I want to become truly a resource, right? I really want to be a resource to other entrepreneurs and the young creators like myself. I'm just truly trying to become a resource for underrepresented communities, and it's in diverse communities, right? People of color, women, geographically diverse communities, right? And so people understand that people in Arkansas may not have access to corporations in New York or venture capitalists in Silicon Valley, right? So who can build that pathway for them to get access to those resources. So I think I found my life's working doing that. And it's so funny because, again, it's a culmination of my political career and my entrepreneurial drive and my passion for innovation. It's all come together, and we launched Venture Noir in October of 2019 in partnership with the Walton Family Foundation, Greater Bentonville Chamber of Commerce, in order to do just that in Northwest Arkansas, right? Build a resource that's focused on closing the socioeconomic gap and building generational wealth for people that look like us. And it's been great to solicit the commitment from corporations and family offices, investors to this space, right? Saying that, hey, I raised my hand, I recognize there's a need, and I want to support those underserved communities. I think that's been awesome to be a part of that. The best part about it is really when you see the entrepreneurs grow, right? When you see their development, when you see them actually learn something and take it and run, when you see those companies raise capital, when you see their revenues grow, when you see them hiring new people, when you see them expand into new markets, right? That's where I truly get the benefit, when I see them closing deals and doing business, doing better business, right? And so I'm in the business of helping Black and brown communities do better business.
No doubt. So what advice would you share to a young person who is aspiring to become an entrepreneur?
That's a great question. Entrepreneurship is the art of creation, right? Is you're an artist in a lot of ways, right? So you're either solving a problem or you're launching a business to generate income, create new income, or create a new revenue stream. And so it's the art of creation. And so that's, if you think about that, that's ever evolving. And so it's so vast into what you can create. And so as a young person, be fueled by that. Be fueled by what you can create and have the confidence to know that you can do it. It's not an overnight thing. And I think this is a novel time. Especially people of color, Black people, we've never experienced anything like this, right? Especially in America, right? We had a history of trauma, generational trauma. And so now we're at a point in time to where we can actually create things, right? We can actually get take ownership and nothing else, our IP, our personal IP, and what we can create. And so, and you have unlimited access to resources by way of the internet, right? So you don't have to go through the powers that be to learn what you need to learn in order to create. So leverage that, maximize that, be a true creator when it comes to entrepreneurship, and commit to doing good business. You know, there are a lot of hustlers out there. I know people who ain't hustled up on thousands, millions of dollars, right? But I also have seen the difference between those who hustle and come up and those who are true entrepreneurs. And they are there for the long haul. They ain't going nowhere. And so I truly aspire to be one of those people who genuinely do good business and stay intentional about the relationships you build along the way, because it's so true that your network is powerful. And you will see as you grow that your network grows and you're able to reconvene with people that you met in the past who are also doing great things. And that shared path, that collective path, is how we truly change the game.
No doubt. So tell us where we can find out more about all of the work that you're doing entrepreneurially, and tell us about the big pitch that you have.
To learn more about me, I have a personal website, www.bksimmons.com. That's my personal portfolio. It's just fun talking about things I've done in the past. You guys kind of see some of the moments. You'll see a lot of people on there because I thrive off my connections with people. So that's been great. But Venture Noir can be found at weareventurenoir.com or at www.venturenoir.org. And again, Venture Noir is the resource group that we piloted in Northwest Arkansas right now. So more to come from that. And then right now, I'm super excited to talk about the big pitch. Again, giving back to the community and understanding that the lack thereof investment into our businesses, right? We as business owners, we created the big pitch to be a statewide pitch competition for persons of color in Arkansas and surrounding states. And so it's a $30,000 cash prize. I mean, that's small compared to what people need right now, especially during the current pandemic. But it was something that, I was thinking this is something we can control and contribute to, if nothing else, support 3 entrepreneurs who are going to walk away with cash, but also to spark a conversation about truly investing into these communities, right, and into these entrepreneurs. So the Big Pitch is an initiative to do that. You can learn more about the Big Pitch at www.thebigpitch.org. So I'm excited to present that out and offer that to the community, man. And lastly, I'll say, I'm just excited to do this work back home. I spent a lot of time away from home learning so much through experience, right? Working in Atlanta, spending some time in Silicon Valley and New York. And my time in Cincinnati was great, honestly. In Northern Kentucky, it was fantastic to be able to be a part of, see a entrepreneur community grow, Startup Cincy, be a part of managing that. And so now, I'm super blessed and humbled to have the opportunity to bring all that I've learned back home and to continue and to be able to support entrepreneurs like yourself and others. So I'm excited, man. I'm super excited to see what the future holds. And this is just the beginning, I hope.
No doubt. I'm definitely sure this is just the beginning. I'm sure about that. Well, we definitely appreciate you taking the time to stop by the show with us today, man. And everybody go follow BK online. Go check out bksimmons.com and find out more about Venture Noir online. Are you guys on social media anywhere? Can let us know where we can follow you on social media.
Yeah. Definitely add me on LinkedIn. My real name is Bjorn, Bjorn Simmons. So add me on LinkedIn. I'm always on there. I love to see what people are doing. Instagram at BK_Simmons. And I think Twitter is at Bjorn Simmons, BJORNSIMMONS. And then you can also follow Venture Noir at Venture Noir on social media as well. And much more to come.
Already. Well, again, we appreciate you taking the time to stop by the show with us today. And we're excited about everything that you're doing in the community and excited to see you be a visionary that's creating change for people like you and me. So definitely keep doing what you're doing. And up next on this Black is Lit, we're going to have our word of the day. So y'all stay safe out there.
Awesome, man.
Ideate. Verb. To form an idea, thought, or image of. Entrepreneurs ideate new future.